Welcome back, our dear viewers. As we promised at the beginning of the show, that we are going to talk about a very important topic today concerning the investment in Egypt and how to attract investors to come and invest in the country, and how to boost the economy with concrete steps taken on the ground. In order to do that, we actually did some steps. We have initiated here in Egypt the B2B guide investors, which is a very important guide in order to know much details about the situation in the country. To shed more light on that topic, we are very much delighted to have our dear guest in the studio, Ambassador محمد الحسينى. He is Economic Committee Director, UN Association Egypt. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Husseini. First, I would like you to give us an idea about the Egyptian business guide and how can investors benefit from it.
Actually, we started the project in 2013. It was the infrastructure of the project to have it in a large expansion scale in the country and in the region, just in the Middle East and North Africa. So when we started that, we implement a new online website. That website, it included all the categories to the business sector. We faced some problems in the beginning because there is no database bank or database system to the government that you can get a list of companies working in the structure steel or working in the oil and gas. You cannot find
in different sectors.
Yeah, in different sectors, because all the data is unupdated. So what we did is actually we take the word of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi that this is the year of the youth. So the teamwork work on this project is all the young men and the youth and the fresh grad. So I believe in them, and as the president believe in them, and the government believe in the Egyptian youth, that they can do something, impress the world. What we did in the beginning, we collaborate with the Ministry of Trade and Chamber of Commerce to get the new agreements and memo of understanding have been done by the administration in Egypt in the latest conferences, starting from Egypt the Future, and the conferences follow that. And also the visits to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in Asia and in Europe. Those visits, we put it in an information base. So he can find when he come to Egypt, or even when he is seeking a joint venture with the company in Egypt, he don't have look like if he go to the Ministry of Investment or the Federation of Chamber of Commerce or even Ministry of Trade, the International Point Trade. He cannot find how he can open a company in Egypt, how he can collaborate with the government of Egypt, how he can find a partner.
The guidelines.
Guidelines, and steps to do business, A to Z, B2B. So what we did is, the first thing we bought general information about Egypt. That's in section 1. And in section 2, we bought all the information to how business in Egypt, how to get a tender from the government in Egypt, how to use the electronic services have been uploaded now in some, not all, some or several government departments in the country. And as well, we bought what is the climate of the investment in Egypt, what is the strength lines of investment, which category. For example, if you go in the education, what is the steps you need to follow, in the healthcare, in the properties, in the telecommunication, all this sectors. We collaborate with the Ministry of Investment and the Investment Authority. They give us some information, but it was not all full, because the idea was new. That how come for the first time in Egypt that we have an electronic and a printed copy and a mobile application and a social media, it's all come in one project called Egypt Business Guide. So the business owners in the country can expand in business with a joint venture and cooperation with the companies abroad. We make a department to the social media and to the B2B and the B2C. We get daily requests from companies in North Africa, companies in Africa, companies in Gulf countries, companies in Europe. They send for us every single day that they have this kind of products. They want to Egypt and they want to export some of them products. They are seeking some cooperation. A lot of them we send it to the Ministry of Investment.
Yes.
So based on that, we open a new shape and we put a new spotlight of information.
So this service wasn't existing before?
Wasn't existing before in the country, ever. We are the first one, Egypt Media Center, and the team of Egypt Media Center, I believe in them, and I thank them from Nile TV. I thank them personally for the hard effort they did, because these young men, they didn't just call a companies and make a marketing and a sales. No, these guys, they knocked door by door to the residential houses in Egypt, the companies in Egypt. We distribute the Egypt Business Guide for.
This is the book.
Yeah, this is the book. This is the printed copy. We make it in a high printed specification. If the camera can delight here, you will find that all this information about the government and the industrial development in Egypt. And here we also, this is the general information about Egypt, and here you can find out the e-government, which is the statement about the ministries and the departments in Egypt, so I can know which ministry I will follow. And here also the embassies in Egypt, and here some presentation about center. Then here the finance and business, it's a brief about the leading sectors in the economic of Egypt, and all of this is not just basic information. This is by expertise in the economy, in Egyptian expertise, and cooperation with international houses to put this data. And here, that was the hardest part, which is section 3, in how to categorize 65 section inside our economy and in the business sector, because basically we don't have a database. So you can imagine that we get a database from Chamber of Commerce and from Ministry. We find something like over than 165,000 companies registered in the country. This is the first thing we face. How we can give an accurate information, because based on that we cannot just deliver for you an info, because this is not a commercial project, this is a national project. So what we did is, you can imagine, if we talk about the industrial sector, we have in Egypt medium and small enterprises and manufacturing and large scale to the industry. So we call the workshops, we go and visit the factories, and we find that the factory is closed and the factory is open, and we make a report like that. And those who is business, we put them in our system. So from 156,000 or 165,000, something like that, what we find initially is something like 2,000. So you can imagine, 2,000 in the industrial sector, because there is a lot of factories have been closed, and there is a lot of factories have been open.
There were many major changes.
Yeah, of course.
But excuse my ignorance here, Mr. Ambassador Husseini, but me as a foreign investor, how would I benefit from that? How would I know about this directory, and how I could get proper information from it in order to help me to come and encourage me to come and invest in Egypt?
Number one is we make look like a corporation with the international marketing and PR in the United States and in Europe and in Gulf region. So those guys, we send for them the copies of the guide, and they distribute it to the businessmen association inside each country. For example, UAE Egyptian Association and China UAE Association. So all the association, this is where the businessmen sit each weekend. So we distribute the book for free for them, and we make a social media campaign. We got followers over than 2 million abroad, and those guys, they was following what we are doing. We put in the latest news about what happening now in the economy. We are putting the lines of the latest project. What are the projects on run that you can go and benefit from that by the visibility study. Me as a researcher, if it's come to the marketing and communication, or even me as a business owner, say I'm not from Egypt, but I don't know anything about the country. So if I find the portal, can give me all the information about how to cooperate inside the country with the government, who is the competitor to me, is my product is effective in this market, if the people need that product, or there is similar product of that, how many numbers,
the market needs.
The market needs, and how many number of companies is going in the production, the history, because we don't put the company as just a company and contact details. No, we put a history of the company, when the company had been launched, the capital, how many workers inside the country, how many the company,
And
how
it's
many
updated
products,
version.
full information about each
And
company.
updated, yes.
So visibility study, not just updated, it's a full database about each company. That was a huge work had been done here. It was not an easy job.
Yes.
So all companies and all factories and each field is included in that
Yeah, of
directory.
course, you have a 26 major category and 65 subcategory. Because, for example, if you talk about tourism, there is a hotels, there is tourist companies, there is...
But if you kindly mentioned here the tourism, we have to mention that unfortunately the tourism sector has been fluctuating to a great extent during the past few years.
Yeah.
So how did you evaluate that in your directory?
Actually, the tourism, of course, we are putting an accurate information.
Indeed.
We cannot just put a false information because we...
Of course.
So based on that, we have registered the information as the collapse have been done in the tourism industry, and the effort of the government now they are doing to
revive the tourism.
And the second point is there is look like we got 65 multinational tourism agency have been opened the last year, even in this after the Egypt Air flight. So this is a promising, and now the government is trying, or the tourism authority is trying to change the way they are promoting now the tourism in Egypt. So what they are doing, they are using some of the tourism agencies in Europe and East Asia. So we talk those and those companies, the stand companies in Egypt, and we make look like a triangle. So anyone, because in tourism industry we will not seek investor, no, we will seek tourists.
Indeed.
So we make a promoting video, and there is a video here about the distribution, how we did it, and how we collaborate in international and local events and conferences. We get who is interested in Egypt, who is interested in investing in Egypt, and then we make a video promo about the tourism, about the industry, because for you as the job seeker, you can apply in this gate to find who the company is posting jobs.
Indeed.
So if you are
So it serves as well local citizens.
yeah, of course, local citizens.
Not only international.
No, not international. It's basically
Investors.
the first is the business sector, because it's the electronic gate of Egypt reflecting the business sector in the country. So it's representing the companies, representing the government, representing the community. This is the triangle. Exporting to whom? Export the foreign investors. So the foreign investors connected by what? By information. And if you may show the video, you will show how we take it as in a professional way. Those guys, because I'm so delighted and I'm so happy that I see that the youth in Egypt, they did something which is something glory, that they go and they was working 24/7 in every step. And when I see President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in his last speech, when he talked about the year of the youth, and he is really fighting for that, fighting to give the opportunity and the chance to the youth to take a role in the country now.
Yes.
And those guys who did this project, so I wanted to deliver the message to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi from the channel and saying, Mr. President, your sons, they did a good job, and those guys, we didn't need any help from anyone. We did it by ourselves and our team.
Yes, that would bring me, Ambassador Husseini, to ask you that who did finance that book, and of course the collection of data and all that hard work. I believe it did take a long time in order to provide all the necessary information to put it in that directory. So how did you get the idea of gathering all these information and data and making this directory?
In the first place, about financial, the project, I did it by my own self. and we get some respected sponsor companies who also sponsored the project to support it and support the team to collaborate all this
You
information.
and your team, you did actually the market to get sponsors.
Yeah, actually that was something like 35%, but 65% I financed that from my own pocket as a project. I give it to my country. Not it's because it's not.
So how did you get the idea of doing that?
I'll tell you. I have this project in 6 countries, in 6 different countries, and I did it in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, in Doha, in Kuwait, in the United States, in the Philippines, and we are now making one.
But you were asked to do that in these countries?
No, actually no, because what I found, actually this is the secret, but actually what we did is, it came to me in 2010 that all the governments in the world, that they don't care about information, especially the Minister of Economies, because come on guys, how you can make the national turnover of the country? You don't know the industrial sector is upgrading or improving or no, the commercial sector is improving or no. How you will know that? How you will know that? You don't have a system in any government in the entire world, by the way. Now they have it after we did that show you the updated report about each month, how many companies open, how many companies close, how many companies change. So when you sit in your chair, you know what is running in the business sector. So when you give an information to the administration of the country, you can give an accurate information. How? If I come to you now and you are the president and I'm the prime minister and I told you that I have in Egypt, Mr. President, 85,000 factories. How I get this report? From where? From where I get this information? From bureaucratic system and a paperwork system from 1978.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And not relevant information.
And that not in Egypt, it's in the whole world. We are not talking, no, now we put the e-solution in that. So when I come and I think the same mentality of the investor. The investor, he is coming. How the investor will know? He will make a search in Google.
Yes.
So the first nation to me, or the first stage to me is the internet, the e-commerce. E-commerce, this is the heart of business. So I invent a new solution, which is in one of our companies, it's called Smart Innovation Technology Solution. That solution is to reserve a portal and start to make the infrastructure of this portal to upload a huge database in that. So me as an investor, how I will know that Egypt is a prospective, or Dubai, or whatever the country I'm going?
Yeah.
By the
Indeed.
and nobody in the government is giving you that. And in Egypt here, to be honest with you, when I attend the Egypt the Future Conference and I find this massive work have been done by the youth and by the administration, and how President Fattah al-Sisi was really that person
he's
who
keen
was really,
to involve youths in
and he is fighting to uprise the country. So I will not gain a profit, but I will gain a project. That project will long for years that I did something for my country. So when I start working in that, I'm telling you honestly, the government of Egypt, nobody, by the meaning of nobody, cooperate with us. Even when we come to the idea, they didn't understand. They thought it looked like Yellow Page or something like telephone directory for the houses. We said this is an electronic portal to the business. Guys, we need support. We don't need money, but we need logistic supports.
Yes.
Some of them, they say, okay, we will look like Giza Chamber of Commerce. And when they start to give us the information, they was looking to it, it looked like it's a profile, or it's look like a flyer. They didn't even understand the huge importance of this project. Who understand it? The Businessmen Association in the Gulf region. Once we start to send it for free, and we also residential, we use the courier and send it for free. For example, you are in your house, then you will someone will knock the door and will give you the guide for free. And in the end of the guide, there will be here that is the distribution statement of Egypt Business Guide. If you want more copies, what is your notes and comments about the project? And we have a quality management, and that by my brother, Dr. Islam al-Husseini. He did a quality department to put an international standard how we serve the B2B and the B2C. So after we distribute that, and after we make our promoting campaign to Egypt, number one, to the guide and the portal number 2, we reach a lot of clients in and out of the country. So the quality management in our center, what it will do, it will start to talk and to see the satisfaction of the client and customers. If you guys satisfied by the project we deliver representing the business in Egypt, some of them they give us comments, we take it to the next copy and to the next edition, and we update it online. And some of them they send for us an appreciation certificates and what you call this, when you plant a seed and you find it it's growing. When I start to find the feedback from the foreign investors through us, I said, mission accomplished. What we are for now, we are asking for a real support and cooperation from the government of Egypt, from the departments concerned about the business improvement in the country. International organization, we start to make a lot of memo of understanding that the Egypt business portal is now look like in a lot of expandation lines to those organizations related to the business scene. Now we want the Ministry of Trade, the Federation of Chamber of Commerce's, Ministry of Investment, the Prime Minister Office to now start to look to this project as the government will go in a partnership with us logistic-wise by, guys, take this system we did for free and upload it in this information database center to the Prime Minister Office, and this is can use is coming to the Ministry of Investment or the Investment Authority or even the International Chamber of Commerce is now is asking about the cooperation with us in that. So we need it. This are more the government serious. We need someone there to talk to us and to understand how important this project is a business, and even to compare it with any other projects in the region. This is what we are really asking now as appreciation to the hard job for my team in Egypt Media Center.
So when you receive requests from international companies on this website, who is the one responsible to refer each request to the concerned ministry?
We have two departments in that.
Yes.
The quality department, it will categorize, and the e-commerce department.
Yes.
E-commerce department will receive the request.
Yes.
Then they will send it to the quality department, and then they will start first to contact, because it might be false information.
Yes. Yes.
It might be fake. It might be someone is scamming. You know, the online, it's not all accurate. So we investigate that and find that this information is really true.
Yes.
Then we will send it, because Egypt United Nations Association and the Federation of United Nations Friends Association also is a sponsor to Egypt Media Center. So we export for them if it's an international corporation, and we export to the Investment Authority and the Chamber of Commerce before.
Yes.
When we send that there is a request like that, we connect them to the government personally or even through the team. We follow up.
Yes.
Because a lot of time, you know, you lose
the request.
Yeah, of course, because somebody requests for some information, and we have a lot of investors, as they would look like, you guys are saying this is now the new generation and blah blah blah, but when we come and start to request information from the government, we don't have it. Then we will make the push up with the government to send this information to the investors, and we follow up, and we have companies already come through us, and we have people did a lot of trade through us, and even in the agriculture, there is a lot of people now is importing through us. You can imagine a gate we open.
And it took you how long to market for Egypt?
It took from us actually 2 years. The 2 years, it was just infrastructure. It was.
You have started in 2013?
Yeah, 2013. And
so it was completed in 2015, I believe.
2015, and it was completed because we have edition 0 and edition 1 in 2015, and this last edition 2016. And now
you update the edition every
day. Every day we update it, because we have the solution department which they update all the latest news running in the country. It's already there. Any adding of any companies, because we have a team, a registration team, they work every day and they export it to the online system. Then the system will filter that in the CRM, then they will export it to the online gate. It's all solutions. The last point we did now, we open with the Ministry of Agriculture, as I assume, a new edition called the Egypt Agriculture Guide. That will be, that I announced.
That was not included here.
No, this is a new pamphlet to the main one.
Yeah.
So we are now trying to make specify projects representing each sector. So if I come to the industrial sector, I will target the industrial investors in East Asia or in the Gulf region. So I will give them basic information about the industrial, and we are giving now the option to the businessmen in Egypt and the companies in Egypt to write a brief about the products, and also we are giving them a username and password in them account to put a description about what are the companies they are targeting, how you can cooperate with them, and what is the last products they have, what is the vision to them for the coming 5 years. So you can imagine that you as a foreign investor, and you are finding a company in the agriculture, in the seeds, in the flowers, and whatever products they are giving, you are having now the capacity of them. The first thing you will do, you will not go to the company. You will go to the gate, which you find the information through that. And then you will ask about the company. We don't register the company as we just send the registration form and then you sign it. No, we investigate that by your commercial registration and the copy of your tax license. Because based on that, we have an electronic archive that we have each company. When you come and ask me for any company, then I will ask the assistant there in the e-solution, then he will print for you a full draft about the history of this company since the day they come up to the day they are with us. What if they didn't renew us? For example, in 2017, the company didn't renew. We will not remove them from the system, but we will contact them in the start of the year for the new edition. If we find that their information is the same and there is nothing changed, we will send a free form and then they will sign it, then they will reply to us. So we don't remove, we add, and we investigate it on a daily basis. This is how we do it.
Interesting. Ambassador Husseini, to what extent do you believe that by having this data completed, that could encourage more investors, both local investors and foreign investors, to come and invest in the country?
A database and information, it can be the reason in a war or in a peace.
Indeed.
So when you come as an administration and extend it to the whole world that your country is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major projects and sub-projects, and a lot of memo of understandings have been signed every day, and you are not giving a statement about what's happening. I'm not talking about statement as a news, because the news, the daily news, you guys have it in the channel, in the national television, or even in the national newspapers. That news, it's covering what's going on in the country, but I'm talking about statement and accurate information. For me, I'm not a government employee, okay? For me, as a businessman, about what is happening in the country, at least that the country is safe. So the country is safe meaning what? Meaning if I put a capital of investment, that amount will be safe. Look like in the Gulf region, look like now in Egypt, how we are highlighting the motivation movement of the government. How? What happened? Forget the Suez Canal. The President Abdel al-Sisi, he have ordered for the new zone corp in C zone, which is Suez Canal zone. We have put a full information package connecting with the C zone website in our electronic portal and also in the printed copy. So for you now, we are checking the investor having a big problem to the dollar, the currency, right? So if he's a free zone company, he don't have a problem. So we will just try to shortcut the situation and you can come here and the country will support you. Okay, another problem when it's come to the dollar, because those enemies or these people anti-government is trying to pull our country. And here in the national television, we want to tell to the world, which is watching us right now, that the country, Egypt is safe. Egypt, yeah, there is a hums in our way, but we are believing in our administration, and inshallah, by God willing, we will pass that. And how? If you have a national tender with the government is providing for you the dollar. If you are a free zone, the government is providing to you the dollar. So if you are in the free zone, if you are, as what we said in the last interview we have here, that the over grant that you get it from the government, if you have an equipment, you can have it here free of taxes and free of customs. So we highlight those information, to return back to your question, we highlight it and we put the motivation steps of the government and we deliver it in a solution to the investors abroad.
Okay, Ambassador محمد الحسيني, Economic Committee Director, United Nations Association, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now, dear viewers, we'll go for a short break with our second segment for today, so stay tuned.